Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. In this week's top news for natural gas. Number one, in the U.S., Cheniere Energy is looking to expand capacity under the Trump administration. Number two, Europe is looking to engage in longer term energy contracts to reduce prices. Number three, Asia. India gas demand is set to double by 2040. And number four, ExxonMobil is looking to produce gas in Guyana with a $1 billion project. Let's take a look at the spot March natural gas contract. Currently, prices are trading 395.30, down 28.1 cents or 6.64%. Weather forecasts have turned warmer over the weekend and prices are reacting. This contract will expire on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the hourly chart for the March contract. Currently, prices are holding between the two pivots. Right now, it is holding at that 50% at 389 and a half. Let's see if the momentum can continue to hold here. The RSI continues to look at very low levels, seeing if there can be a slight bounce before things turn again to the downside. And let's take a look at the April contract, which will be spot on Thursday for the storage report. Currently, prices are trading at 394 and a half, down 18.4 cents. It is holding right at the pivot support here at 393.70 with secondary support well below at 379.20. The RSI has turned over to the sell side. So again, pressure is going to be the immediate target will be the downside at this point. Let's take a look at the weather. Currently, right now, that Arctic air mass continues to pool across the Siberian and Arctic Ocean into Canada, especially to the east. Looking at the eastern provinces of Canada and Greenland, as you can see, the weather continues to push toward the Great Lakes states, New England, and Mid Atlantic states as we go through the 2 week period. But as you know, there's some warm temperatures coming in through the southern tier of the United States, which is pushing pressure on that Arctic air mass to stay contained within Canada. So let's take a look at the United States. Right now, as you can see, colder temperatures are still in the eastern one third of the country, especially the Great Lakes and all the way down into Tennessee and Ohio valleys. That will abate here over the next few days as that cold air stays contained in Canada. As we saw in last week's report, it looked like there would be another shot into the Midwest, but right now the forecasts have changed and keeps that cold Arctic air contained in Canada and really just threatens the New England, Great Lakes states. As you can see through the forecast, as we get into March, that ridge continues to hold as that cold air is contained again north of the equator, or excuse me, north of the border. Right now, that cold air, well, it still can get over the Great Lakes. Right now, ice is covered over 34.2% of the Great Lakes. But let's take a look at today's temperatures. Very warm temperatures are now coming back into Texas across the southern tier of the United States, with Miami at 77 and Abilene, Texas at 81, and parts of Arizona as high as 83 degrees today. Let's take a look at the wind. The wind is expected to increase with more wind generation, especially in Texas over the next 10 days. As you can see, there is a lot of wind generation that will be coming in the upper plains states as well as Texas. And let's take a look at where weather forecasts are. Where do we fall between La Nina and El Nino? Well, right now we're currently in a La Nina phase with more neutral tendencies, and that continues as we get into April, May, and June as it peaks and looks like it's just going to be a mixed picture as we get through the summer. What does it mean? Well, let's take a look at the drought. The drought monitor as of the 20th is continuing to be very dry across the desert southwest and even parts of the east coast. With a neutral phase, this will mean more regional weather patterns persist, which will possibly bring in more rain into Texas. Let's turn our focus to Europe. Again, much of the same. Eastern Europe continues to remain cold right here in the forecast, Some very cold temperatures across Turkey and parts of Scandinavia. But as you can see, this is really starting to look normal, and it starts to warm up again as we get into March. As you can see, some warmer temperatures coming in around the 7th of March across Western Europe, and this looks like it's going to continue as we go through the forecast period. Let's take one last look here at Asian weather. And again, Asian weather continues to be pretty much the same. Cold temperatures across the Koreas and Japan currently, and also the northern Chinese provinces today. But that warmer temperatures start to come in through the southern Chinese provinces as we get through the 27th through the 30th, excuse me, through the 1st. And that continues through the forecast period for the next 2 weeks. So again, turning back to the March contract, prices right now at 395.5, currently down 28 cents. As pressure continues to push on this contract as it expires on Wednesday, due to the change in the weather forecast to warmer temperatures. Let us know your thoughts. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.